Good evening, beautiful people. It's so wonderful to be here with you today, filled with excitement and expectation. You know, when we talk about love and relationships, sometimes it can feel like a mystery. But I believe God is about to reveal something extraordinary to someone in this room tonight. You see, I want to tell you that someone's heart has chosen you to be their spouse. God is stirring up something in the hearts of those around you. And He's about to bring you a confession, a revelation that will change everything for you. Are you ready for it? I believe God has been working behind the scenes, and now, this moment, this season is your time to receive that love, that commitment, and that confirmation. So friends, tonight, I want you to expect something incredible. Someone's heart has chosen you, and the confession is coming. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but it's coming. When it happens, remember, this love is divine. It's God's gift to you, and it's a promise He's fulfilling. Be open, be receptive, and walk in faith. Believe in the love that's meant for you, and trust that God is preparing both of you for a lifetime of happiness and joy. Get ready to receive that confession. It's coming your way. God bless you all. Imagine waking up one morning, walking through your day, and realizing that someone has already chosen you. Not because of what you've done, but simply because they see something in you that is unique and special. They've been watching you, admiring you from afar, and now their heart has made a decision. You might not even know it yet, but someone out there has seen the depths of your soul and has made a choice. You are the one they want to spend the rest of their life with. This is not just a fleeting thought or a passing fancy. It is a deliberate, intentional decision made by someone who sees you as their perfect match. How many times have you doubted your worth? How many times have you questioned whether you were enough or if you would ever find someone who truly values you for who you are? Life has a way of challenging our confidence. People have their opinions, society has its standards, and sometimes it can feel like there's always someone better, smarter, or more attractive than you. And this choice isn't about meeting a certain checklist or fulfilling someone's ideal. It's about the essence of who you are. I want you to think back to those moments in life when you've felt completely vulnerable, maybe even misunderstood. You've faced difficulties, faced setbacks, and perhaps even felt like you were invisible. Maybe in school, you were the quiet one who didn't fit in with the crowd, or perhaps in your family, you were the one who always felt like an outsider, not fully accepted for who you were. Or think about those failed relationships where you gave your heart completely only to have it broken or rejected. All those moments could make anyone wonder, am I truly worthy of love? Is there someone out there who will see me for who I really am? But here's the truth. Someone is already seeing you. They've been watching you, and in the quiet of their heart, they have decided that you are the one. This choice is not based on a superficial attraction, but on a deep connection, something that goes beyond the surface. It's about the way you carry yourself, the kindness you show, the way you overcome challenges, and the way you make people feel when they are around you. It's about the integrity in your heart, your compassion for others, and the strength you display in adversity. These qualities don't always get recognized at first, but someone out there sees them. They have chosen you because of who you are at your core, not because of what you do or how you look. Now think about your own life. When was the last time you really saw someone for who they are? Not the way they dress, not the job they have, not the way they look, but the essence of their being. It's rare to find someone who truly notices the quiet strength in another person, who recognizes the beauty in someone's soul rather than just their appearance. But when it happens, it's powerful. That's exactly what's happening here. Someone has noticed the depth in you. They've seen something that no one else has, and in their heart, they have made the choice. It's a decision that goes beyond logic or reasoning. It's a choice that is made with the heart. And this is the beautiful thing about God's timing. We may not always see the evidence of this choice right away. It might not happen in the way we expect, but know that the universe or God's plan is at work. Someone is being prepared for you, just as you are being prepared for them. You might have to wait a little longer, but trust me, someone's heart is already set on you. You don't have to look for it. You don't have to chase it. And you don't have to change who you are to be worthy of it. All you need to do is keep being the person you are, the person who God has already made you to be. This choice, this heart-chosen love, will come to you in its own time. It might not be the picture-perfect story you've imagined in your head, but it will be exactly what you need. It will feel natural, like it was always meant to be. The confession will come, not in a moment of grand gestures, but in a quiet, intimate moment where they express, I see you and I've chosen you. It won't be a simple confession of love, but an acknowledgement of everything that makes you who you are, the strength, the resilience, the vulnerability, the beauty, and the depth. And when that confession comes, it won't be just words. It will be a reflection of everything you've gone through, everything you've overcome, and everything you've yet to achieve together. It will be the start of a journey built on mutual understanding, trust, and a deep, unwavering commitment to one another. The person who has chosen you will not be looking for perfection, but for a partner to walk beside them in the ups and downs of life. So, my friend, hold your head high. Understand that you are already loved, already seen, and already chosen. Someone out there is ready to love you not just for your strengths, but for your flaws. They see the unique beauty in you that others may overlook. And when they come to you, you'll know it's right because their heart has been prepared to love you the way you've always deserved. Trust in that process and know that the one meant for you is already on their way, their heart already chosen by yours. It may take time, but remember, someone is choosing you, and that is the most beautiful feeling in the world. I want you to take a moment and think about how often we try to rush life. We try to speed up the process, hurry through the stages, and force things into place because we believe that time is running out. Whether it's in relationships, career goals, or personal achievements, there's this constant feeling that we need to get things done faster, that we need to be ahead of the curve. But what if I told you that sometimes the greatest things in life require patience? What if I told you that the love you're seeking, the connection you've longed for, the one who has already chosen you is going to come at exactly the right time? Not a moment too soon and not a moment too late. When we talk about trust and timing, I want you to understand something powerful. God's timing is not like ours. It doesn't operate on the same clock. When we are rushing, feeling anxious, or constantly wondering when the right person will come into our lives, we might miss the beauty of waiting. Think about the seasons of nature. You wouldn't rush a tree to grow. You wouldn't try to push a flower to bloom before it's time, right? So why do we treat our relationships any differently? Take, for instance, the story of a seed. A farmer plants a seed in the ground, and for a while nothing seems to happen. He waters it, he tends to it, but it's not showing any signs of growth. But deep below the surface, there's something happening. The roots are digging deep, preparing the foundation. It's in this quiet waiting period that the real work happens. The seed isn't just growing outwardly, it's growing inwardly first. And once that root system is firmly established, the plant begins to break through the soil and rise to the surface. And when it does, it's ready to stand tall, strong, and resilient. That's how relationships work too. In life, we often feel impatient because we're looking for external signs of progress, but we forget that true growth happens inside. The love that God has prepared for you, the one whose heart has already chosen you, is growing in the waiting period. Just like that seed, maybe you don't see it yet, but it's happening. It's being cultivated in the background of your life, deep within, where God is aligning things for you. Imagine this. You're at a party or you're out with friends and you're feeling good about your life. You're doing your thing, being the best version of yourself, but you're also waiting. You're wondering, when will that person come into my life? When will the person who is meant for me finally step in? You can feel the pressure to meet someone, to find that connection, but what you don't realize is that in that moment, God is working on your future. He is preparing your heart and their heart. He is setting up the right circumstances, the right timing, and the right moment for both of you to meet. And when that time comes, it will feel like everything just falls into place effortlessly. Trusting God's timing means letting go of that pressure to rush. I know it's hard. We live in a world that wants instant gratification. We want to know what's going to happen next. We want the answers right away, and we want our relationships to unfold according to our own timetable. But God knows better. He knows that if we get everything we want when we want it, we might not be ready for it. He knows that the foundation of any strong relationship is built on patience, trust, and timing. Think about a moment in your life when you wanted something badly but didn't get it immediately. Maybe it was a promotion at work, a new house, or even a dream vacation. At the time, it felt like you were being held back, like you weren't getting what you deserved. But then, months or years later, you look back and realize that the delay was actually a blessing. If you had gotten that promotion or that house or that vacation when you first wanted it, you wouldn't have been prepared for it. You would have missed out on the lessons you learned in the meantime, the growth that happened during the waiting period. The same goes for love. The person who is meant for you is not just waiting for you, they're also being prepared for you. God is working in their life too. They are going through their own seasons of growth, just like you are. And the beauty of it all is that when the two of you finally meet, you won't just be two people coming together. You will be two people who are fully prepared to love and support each other. You will both have gone through the necessary stages of growth that will allow your love to flourish. If you feel like you're waiting for love, waiting for the right person, I want you to remember this. The time you spend waiting is not wasted. It's a time for you to become the best version of yourself. It's a time for you to develop your strengths, work through your weaknesses, and get closer to your purpose. When that person finally comes into your life, you'll be ready to share all of who you are with them. You won't just be waiting for love. You will be living in your purpose, becoming everything you were meant to be, and allowing the right person to come into your life when the time is perfect. So let go of the pressure. Trust that God is preparing you and your future spouse for each other. Keep living your life with faith and joy, knowing that the love you've been waiting for is coming at exactly the right time. You don't have to rush it. When you trust in God's timing, everything will come together in ways you never imagined. The right person, the right love will come into your life when you are both ready. And when it does, it will be more beautiful and meaningful than you ever thought possible. Trust the process. Trust the waiting. God knows what He's doing. Have you ever felt like you were on the edge of settling for something less than what you truly deserve? Maybe it was in a job you weren't passionate about, a friendship that wasn't fully reciprocal, or a relationship where you felt you had to compromise too much of who you are. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that you have to settle, especially when the pressure of time and circumstance makes you feel like you need to accept whatever comes your way. But I want to tell you something important. Don't settle for less than you deserve. You were made for more than just getting by. You were created for something extraordinary. Let me take you back to a moment in your life when you settled for less than you deserved. Perhaps it was in a situation where you knew deep down that something wasn't right, but you accepted it because you feared that you wouldn't find anything better. Maybe you stayed in a toxic friendship because you didn't want to be alone. Or you accepted a job that didn't align with your passions because it was good enough. I've been there too, and I know how it feels. The sense of relief when you finally say yes to something, even though your heart whispers that it's not the right choice for you. But here's the thing. By settling, you're telling the universe or God that you don't trust that something better is on the way. You're accepting a life that doesn't fulfill your deepest desires, doesn't align with your true potential, and doesn't reflect your worth. God didn't create you to settle. He created you for greatness, for love, and for a purpose that far exceeds the ordinary. Think about the world around you. There are countless examples of people who took a leap of faith and refused to settle for what was comfortable or convenient. Look at successful entrepreneurs, artists, or even athletes who faced adversity but chose to push forward, refusing to compromise on their dreams. Take Steve Jobs, for instance. He could have easily settled for a mediocre life, working in a corporate office. But instead, he chose to follow his passion and create Apple, revolutionizing the tech industry. He could have taken the easy path, but he knew that in order to make his mark, he had to aim higher, dream bigger, and never settle. The same principle applies to your love life. God has already chosen someone for you who will value you in ways you never imagined, someone who will cherish you for who you are, your quirks, your talents, your heart. Someone who won't ask you to change who you are to fit their needs, but who will encourage you to grow into the best version of yourself. Don't settle for someone who makes you feel like you have to shrink, to hide parts of yourself, or to dim your light. You deserve a love that brings out the best in you, a relationship that challenges you to become your fullest, most authentic self. I know it's tempting to settle. It's easy to believe that the person who's standing right in front of you is the best you can do. You might even think, maybe I'll never find anyone better, so I should just accept what's here. But here's the truth. Settling for something that's not right for you will only bring you heartache in the long run. You deserve to be loved in the way that reflects the love that God has for you, a love that is unconditional, patient, and kind. That kind of love doesn't require you to settle for anything less than what is best for both of you. Think about it. When you meet the right person, it won't feel like settling. It will feel like coming home. There won't be any doubt in your heart, no wondering if you're good enough or if they'll accept you for who you are. The right person will see you, truly see you, and love you for everything you are without asking you to change. It will feel effortless, natural, and right. You won't have to convince them to love you because they already do exactly as you are, and that kind of love is what you're worth. When you refuse to settle, you open the door to God's best for you. You allow Him to work in your life, bringing the right people, the right opportunities, and the right blessing. It's easy to think that if you don't take what's available, you'll miss out. But that's not the case. God has a plan for you that is bigger than anything you can imagine. And the right person, your spouse, your partner, will come into your life at the right time, when you are ready, when both of you are prepared to meet and grow together. Imagine you're at a buffet and you're surrounded by a variety of food. You see a dish that's okay, something you know will fill you up, but it's not exactly what you're craving. It's safe, it's comfortable. You could eat it and feel satisfied in the moment. But then you spot something else, a dish that catches your eye. It looks fresh, vibrant, and exciting. You can feel that it's exactly what you want, but it requires a little more patience to wait for it to be prepared. At that moment, you face a choice. Settle for the safe, familiar dish, or trust that what's waiting for you, even if it takes a little longer, will be worth it. That's the choice you face in life and love. Will you settle for what's easy and familiar, or will you trust that something better is on the way? Will you settle for the first person who shows interest in you, or will you wait for the one who will truly appreciate all that you are? The latter might take longer, it might require more patience, but it will be worth it. You are deserving of love that lifts you up, supports you, and encourages you to reach your fullest potential. Don't sell yourself short by settling for something less than that. Trust in God's timing, trust in your worth, and trust that the love that is meant for you will come when the time is right. Keep your standards high, because you are worth every bit of it. Imagine this. You've been walking through life, perhaps feeling a little uncertain or questioning if you'll ever find the kind of love you've always dreamed of. Maybe you've had your heart broken before or faced disappointments that left you wondering if true love is just something other people experience. But deep inside, you've always had this quiet hope, this belief that one day someone would come into your life and love you in a way that is deeper, more meaningful than anything you've ever known. That moment, that heartfelt confession of love, is closer than you think. It's coming your way, and it's going to change everything. When I say a heartfelt confession of love, I mean something far beyond just words. It's not the kind of confession you get after a brief flirtation or a passing crush. This is the kind of love confession that is rooted in authenticity and vulnerability and in a deep understanding of who you are. It's not rushed or forced. It's not built on superficial attraction or fleeting emotions. It's something far more powerful. The kind of love that has been carefully nurtured, the kind of love that's been growing over time, even when you didn't realize it. This is the kind of love confession that's going to stop you in your tracks and make you realize that all the waiting, all the uncertainty was worth it. Think of the people in your life who have expressed deep care for you, the ones who took the time to really get to know you. Maybe it was a close friend who, after years of support, finally confessed that they loved you more than just as a friend. Or maybe it was someone who patiently stood by your side through hardships, never pushing you, but quietly offering their love in ways that spoke louder than words. You can probably recall those moments when someone's actions spoke louder than anything they could have said. But when they finally spoke those words, those simple yet powerful words, your world changed. This is the kind of love we're talking about. The kind of love that doesn't need to be forced or rushed. Think about it. Have you ever witnessed the way a flower blooms At first, it's just a small bud, and you may not even notice it. But with time, with care, and with the right conditions, it slowly begins to open up, petal by petal. It doesn't rush, and it doesn't try to force the process. It simply grows naturally, beautifully, until one day you look at it and you can't help but marvel at the transformation. That's what's happening with the love that's headed your way. It's been growing quietly over time. The person who has chosen you has seen you for who you truly are, and they've been waiting for the right moment to let you know how much they care. Now let's talk about why this confession is so important. It's not just about hearing the words, "I love you," although those words carry a great deal of weight. It's about the sincerity behind those words. It's about the person who has taken the time to truly understand you, to see you for everything you are, your strengths, your flaws, your dreams, your fears, and to still choose you. That kind of love doesn't come along every day. It's something rare, something special. And when it's given with everything that person has. They are not just confessing a passing feeling. They are confessing their heart, their loyalty, and their commitment to you, to your future, to building something beautiful together. I want you to think about how incredible it will feel when that confession finally comes. It won't be like anything you've experienced before. It will be filled with emotion, with meaning, and with a deep sense of knowing that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. It will be the moment when you realize that all the waiting, all the moments when you doubted whether or not you were worthy of love were preparing you for this. And when you hear those words, when you hear that confession of love, you'll know deep down that it was worth every minute of uncertainty, every moment of doubt. Love like this doesn't come when we're desperately searching for it. It comes when we're living our lives fully, when we're content with who we are, when we're doing the work of becoming the best versions of ourselves. When we trust that we are worthy of love and that the right person will find us in their own time, that's when things start to fall into place. And when the confession comes, it will feel like a natural progression, like the next step in a beautiful journey that was meant to be. The beauty of this kind of confession is that it's not just a one-time thing. It's the beginning of a journey that will continue to unfold over time. It's not a simple "I love you" that is said in passing. It's the beginning of a lifetime of love, of deep conversations, of shared moments, and of building something meaningful together. When someone confesses their love to you, they're not just declaring how they feel in that moment. They're also making a promise to you. They're promising to stand by your side, to face the challenges of life with you, and to support you through whatever comes your way. And I want you to understand that this confession is a reflection of how God sees you. You may not always feel like you're worthy of such deep love, but I promise you, you are. God has been working in the background of your life, preparing the right person for you and preparing you for them. That love confession is not just a declaration from the person who loves you. It's a reminder that you are seen, you are valued, and you are deserving of all the love and joy that life has to offer. So expect it. Expect the moment when someone steps into your life and tells you how much they care, how much they've been waiting for this moment to express their love. Expect the tears, the joy, the overwhelming sense of peace that will wash over you when you realize that this is the real thing. You are worthy of a love like this, and it's coming your way. Just keep being yourself, keep growing, keep believing in the beauty of the love that is meant for you, and know that it's already on its way. True love is often depicted as a fleeting emotion, something that sweeps us off our feet in an instant, igniting a passion that burns brightly and fiercely. While those moments of intense feeling are beautiful, true love goes much deeper than that. It is not merely an emotion or a spark of attraction. It is a lifelong promise, one that requires commitment, patience, and a profound understanding of what it means to love and be loved. Think about the things in your life that matter most: your family, your close friends, your purpose in life. These are the things that over time have shaped you into who you are. They are not just fleeting moments or simple emotions. They are deep, enduring relationships that require effort, understanding, and time to truly cultivate. Love, in its truest form, is no different. It's not about the initial excitement or the butterflies in your stomach. It's about the long-term dedication to supporting, uplifting, and growing together with another person, no matter what life throws your way. When we talk about love being a promise, we're talking about a commitment that goes beyond the surface. It's not based on the good times alone, but is forged in the challenges, the disagreements, and the moments of hardship that every relationship faces. It's easy to love someone when everything is going well, when life is full of smiles and laughter. But true love shows its power in the tough times, when things are difficult, when the road gets rocky. It's in those moments that the real promise of love is tested. I think about a married couple who have been together for decades. Through the years, they've built a life full of memories, but they've also faced challenges. Perhaps the loss of a job, the passing of loved ones, or health struggles. Yet despite the hardships, they've stood by each other, not because it was easy, but because their love was a promise, a commitment to weather the storms together. They've learned that love is not always about grand gestures or fleeting moments of excitement. It's about holding each other's hand through the everyday struggles and the big life changes, reassuring each other that no matter what happens, they will face it together. True love is about choosing each other every single day, even when the emotions aren't as intense as they once were. Love becomes a choice to honor, respect, and cherish your partner. It's about making decisions that strengthen the bond, whether it's compromising when needed, giving the space to grow, or supporting each other through changes and challenges. Think about the love between a parent and child. From the moment a child is born, a parent makes an unspoken promise to care for them, to guide them, and to love them, regardless of how the child changes or grows. As the child grows up, the love evolves, but it remains a constant promise. A commitment that endures even as the relationship changes form. Parents may not always be able to provide everything their child wants, but they will always provide what their child needs, offering a foundation of love that is unwavering. The same is true in romantic love. True love doesn't fade when the initial excitement wanes. It doesn't disappear after the honeymoon phase. True love grows and matures over time, becoming a deep connection, a shared life, and a commitment that is unwavering. It's about making the conscious decision to love someone, not just in the moments of joy, but also when times are tough. True love is also forgiving. No one is perfect. There will be moments when mistakes are made, when tempers flare, or when misunderstandings occur. But love isn't about holding grudges or keeping score. It's about offering grace, giving each other the opportunity to learn and grow, and choosing to move forward together. Forgiveness is one of the greatest promises love can offer. It says, I see your imperfections and I accept you as you are. I will choose to love you through them. In many ways, true love is like a garden. It requires daily attention, nurturing, and care. There will be days when the weeds of doubt, frustration, or impatience seem to overtake the beauty of the garden. But with effort, patience, and consistent care, that garden will continue to grow, flourishing in ways that couldn't have been anticipated at the start. True love is an investment of time, effort, and heart. But over time, it rewards you with a bond that is stronger than any fleeting emotion. And here's the beautiful thing about love being a promise. It's not a promise to stay in a relationship when it's unhealthy or toxic. True love isn't about enduring pain or sacrifice for the sake of love. True love respects boundaries, values, mutual growth, and seeks to lift each other up. The promise is about choosing to show up for each other, to be there through thick and thin, while still respecting the needs of the relationship and the individuals involved. It's a promise to always support each other's growth, both as a couple and as individuals. True love is timeless. It's not measured by the fleeting emotions or by how quickly feelings change. Instead, it's measured by the strength of commitment, the depth of understanding, and the willingness to face life's challenges together. It's about building a future together, one that is anchored in trust, respect, and a shared vision. So when we say that true love is a lifelong promise, we're talking about something deeper than just romantic gestures or words. We're talking about a decision to show up every day, to support, to understand, and to grow together. True love isn't just about finding someone who makes your heart race. It's about finding someone who makes you want to build a life together. A life that endures, a love that never fades, and a bond that stands the test of time. This is the kind of love that lasts, the kind of love that fulfills us, the kind of love that is built on a promise to choose each other always. And recognizing God's favor and the divine appointment on your life is like opening your eyes to the incredible blessings and opportunities that have always been surrounding you. So often we get caught up in the day-to-day struggles and routines of life that we miss the subtle ways God is at work in our lives. But when we begin to recognize His favor, we realize that we are not walking this journey alone. God's hand is on us, guiding us, providing for us, and orchestrating the moments and events in our lives to lead us toward our purpose. It's a realization that can change everything. Favor is something that doesn't come from our own efforts or abilities. It's God's grace and blessings poured out on us in ways we could never earn. It's that inexplicable feeling of being in the right place at the right time, meeting the right people, or receiving an unexpected breakthrough when things seemed impossible. When we begin to recognize God's favor in our lives, we start to see how He's been working behind the scenes, aligning opportunities and opening doors we never imagined possible. It might be something as simple as finding the right job after months of searching, meeting someone who will be a lifelong friend just when you needed it, or even experiencing a moment of peace and clarity in the middle of chaos. Those moments are not coincidences. They are signs of God's favor. It's God actively working in our lives, showing us His love and faithfulness in ways that affirm His plan for us. When you truly recognize God's favor, it's like a veil is lifted from your eyes. You see that everything you have experienced, the highs and lows, the trials and triumphs, has been part of His divine appointment on your life. Every step, even the ones that didn't make sense at the time, has led you exactly where you need to be, even when you felt lost, confused, or alone. God has never taken His eyes off of you. He has been guiding you, shaping you, and positioning you for something greater than you can imagine. Think about it. How many times have you faced a situation that seemed impossible only to find a way through it? How many times have you walked through challenges that made you feel like giving up, but somehow you kept moving forward and eventually you came out stronger on the other side? Those moments are not just your resilience or your willpower at work. That's God's favor at work in your life. His hand was upon you, leading you through those difficult times and preparing you for what lies ahead. When we acknowledge that God has a divine appointment for our lives, it means that everything that happens, good or bad, is part of a bigger plan. It means that God has set you apart for a specific purpose, and He's aligning everything in your life to make sure you walk in that purpose. Every relationship, every opportunity, and even every setback has a reason. It's all part of God's perfect timing. Sometimes when we're in the middle of struggles or waiting for things to change, it can be hard to see the bigger picture. We get frustrated with the process, discouraged by the delays, or confused by the obstacles. But when we trust that God's favor is upon us and that His divine appointment is at work, we can rest in the knowledge that everything is unfolding as it should. Even in the waiting, God is preparing us for the next step in His plan. I think of the story of Joseph in the Bible. He went through betrayal, slavery, and imprisonment, yet God's favor was on him. Through all the hardships, Joseph's life was divinely appointed to lead him to a place of prominence and to save his family during a time of famine. At the time, Joseph probably couldn't see the bigger picture, but God's favor was guiding him every step of the way. It wasn't just about his circumstances, it was about the divine appointment on his life, which led to something far greater than he could have imagined. In the same way, when we recognize God's favor in our lives, we understand that we are part of a bigger story. We understand that we were created with a purpose, that God has uniquely equipped us for the journey He has set before us. No setback, no detour, no difficulty is without purpose. God is always at work, positioning us, shaping us, and leading us toward our destiny. God's favor also means that we are not in this journey alone. When we recognize His favor, we begin to see how He places the right people in our lives at the right time. We realize that the people we meet, whether friends, mentors, or even strangers, are often part of the divine appointments that God has set up for us. These people help us grow, offer guidance, or even challenge us to become the best version of ourselves. And just as God has a plan for us, He is using us to bless others, to be a part of their divine appointments as well. There's a special kind of peace that comes when we recognize God's favor and divine appointment. We stop striving and start trusting. We let go of the need to control every aspect of our lives and surrender to God's perfect plan. We trust that the struggles we face are not wasted, that the dreams we carry in our hearts are not too big for God to bring to fruition, and that the best is yet to come. When you begin to recognize the favor of God on your life, it changes how you view your circumstances. It gives you the confidence to step forward, knowing that you are not just wandering aimlessly, you are walking in the path God has set before you with divine appointments waiting to unfold at every turn. Whether it's in your career, your relationships, or your personal growth, God's favor is guiding you. You are walking in His divine appointment for your life, and nothing can stop His plan from coming to pass. Take a moment to reflect on the blessings in your life, the doors that have opened, and the people who have come into your world at just the right time. These are not random events. They are a sign of God's favor. And as you continue to recognize His presence and His plan, you'll find that the more you acknowledge His favor, the more you'll see it in every aspect of your life. God has a divine appointment for you, and His favor is leading you to the future He has prepared for you. Keeping your heart open to receive love is one of the most transformative and powerful things you can do in life. Love, in all its forms, whether from family, friends, or a romantic partner, has the ability to heal, strengthen, and enrich us in ways that nothing else can. But in order to experience this love fully, we must be willing to open ourselves up to it, even when life circumstances or past experiences may make us hesitant or fearful. Life is full of ups and downs, and sometimes our hearts can become guarded. We might have been hurt by others in the past, felt betrayed, or experienced rejection, and as a result, we put up walls around our hearts, thinking that protecting ourselves in this way will prevent future pain. But what we don't realize is that when we close ourselves off from love, we also close ourselves off from the healing, joy, and fulfillment that love brings. While it's natural to want to protect ourselves, keeping our hearts closed only keeps us stuck in the past, unable to experience the beauty that is right in front of us. One of the first steps to keeping your heart open is allowing yourself to be vulnerable. Vulnerability is not a weakness, it's actually a strength. It's the courage to show up as your true self, to let others see the real you, the messy, imperfect, beautiful person that you are. When you are vulnerable, you invite love into your life in its most pure and authentic form. You allow yourself to receive love from others, not based on the image you try to project or the mask you wear, but from the heart. Think about the most meaningful relationships in your life, the ones that have withstood the test of time. These are the relationships where vulnerability was present. You allowed yourself to be real with the other person, sharing your fears, dreams, struggles, and triumphs, and in return, they did the same, creating a bond of mutual respect and trust. It's in those moments of vulnerability that love has the room to grow. If you shut yourself off from sharing your true feelings, you deny love the space it needs to flourish. Opening your heart to love also means forgiving. Forgiveness is a powerful way of releasing the past and making room for love to enter. If you're holding on to old grudges, resentments, or pain from previous relationships or experiences, it can be incredibly difficult to let new love in. But when you forgive, whether it's forgiving someone who has hurt you or forgiving yourself for past mistakes, you are unburdening your heart. You're freeing yourself from the chains of negativity and opening up to the possibility of fresh love, healing, and growth. Forgiveness doesn't mean that what happened in the past wasn't painful or wrong. It simply means that you are choosing to move forward, to not let the past dictate your future. You're saying that your heart is big enough to welcome love, even after all the wounds it has endured. And that kind of strength, the strength to forgive and heal, is what keeps your heart open and ready to receive the love that is meant for you. Another important aspect of keeping your heart open is learning to love yourself. Self-love is the foundation upon which all other love is built. If you don't love and value yourself, it becomes difficult to accept love from others. You might find yourself questioning your worth or pushing people away because you don't feel deserving of love. But the truth is, you are deserving. You are created with love and purpose, and you are worthy of receiving love in return. Self-love isn't about being perfect or having everything together. It's about accepting yourself, flaws and all, and treating yourself with the kindness, compassion, and respect you deserve. When you love yourself, you set the standard for how others should love you. You teach people how to treat you by the way you treat yourself. And when you believe in your own worth, you make room for others to love you the way you are always meant to be loved. To keep your heart open to receive love, you also have to be willing to let go of fear. Fear is one of the biggest obstacles that keeps us from fully embracing love. We fear that we'll get hurt again, that we won't be good enough, or that we'll be left behind. But the more we let fear control us, the more we prevent ourselves from experiencing the fullness of love. Love requires trust, and trust requires letting go of fear. It's about taking a leap of faith, believing that love is worth the risk, and knowing that no matter the outcome, you are strong enough to handle it. When you keep your heart open to love, you also start to see the world through a different lens. You begin to recognize the love that is already surrounding you. Maybe it's the love of a friend who reaches out just when you need it most, or the love of a family member who shows up with a helping hand. Maybe it's the love of a stranger who offers a smile or a kind word when you least expect it. By keeping your heart open, you become more attuned to the love that is constantly being offered to you, and you become more willing to give love back in return. There's a quote that says, "The best way to find love is to give love." And it's true. Love isn't just something that we receive, it's something that we give as well. The more you open your heart to others, the more love you'll attract into your life. When you show kindness, compassion, and love to those around you, you create an environment where love can flourish. You become a magnet for positive relationships and experiences because your heart is open to giving and receiving love freely. Sometimes keeping your heart open to receive love means letting go of expectations. We all have ideas about how we want love to look, how it should show up in our lives, and who it should come from. But love doesn't always come in the ways we expect. Sometimes the love we need comes from the most unexpected places or from people we never imagined. By letting go of rigid expectations, you allow love to enter your life in its own unique way. When you open your heart to love, you're also opening yourself up to growth. Love challenges us to be better versions of ourselves. It pushes us to be more patient, more understanding, and more selfless. It teaches us how to give without expecting anything in return and how to support others in their journeys. Love doesn't just make life sweeter, it makes us better. It encourages us to be the best version of ourselves, and in doing so, we attract more of the love and joy we deserve. So today, take a deep breath and choose to open your heart. Let go of past hurts, fears, and doubts. Allow yourself to be vulnerable, to forgive, and to embrace self-love. Know that you are worthy of receiving love, and when you open your heart, you make room for the beautiful, fulfilling relationships that are waiting for you. The love you've always longed for is out there, and it starts with you being open to receive it. Building your relationship on the foundation of God's love is one of the most powerful and fulfilling decisions you can make. In a world that often places emphasis on external circumstances, fleeting emotions, or societal pressures, God's love provides a solid, unshakable foundation that will withstand any storm, challenge, or trial you may face together. When you root your relationship in God's love, you tap into a source of strength, peace, and guidance that is always available to you. God's love is unconditional, unwavering, and eternal. Unlike human love, which can sometimes be influenced by emotions, circumstances, or misunderstandings, God's love remains constant. When you build your relationship on this divine love, you set a standard that goes beyond superficial feelings or temporary moments. It's a love that is rooted in forgiveness, grace, patience, and kindness, qualities that are essential for any relationship to thrive. When two people enter into a relationship, whether it be romantic, friendship, or familial, they are inevitably bringing their individual experiences, values, and personalities into the mix. We are all imperfect people, capable of making mistakes, misunderstanding each other, or experiencing conflict. However, when your relationship is built on God's love, it means that you are constantly reminded of His love for you, and you can extend that same love to each other. God's love teaches you to be patient when your partner is struggling, to offer forgiveness when there are mistakes, and to show compassion when things aren't going as planned. His love is a mirror that reflects how we should treat each other, giving us a higher standard for how we engage with one another. Think about the example of Jesus Christ, the ultimate demonstration of God's love. His love was sacrificial, unconditional, and selfless. He loved people not because they were perfect, but because he saw their potential and chose to offer them grace. In a relationship, this kind of love means choosing your partner, your friend, your family member over and over again, even when it's hard. It means showing up for them when they don't deserve it, offering grace when they make mistakes, and supporting them even in their weaknesses. Jesus' love teaches us that love is not just about the good moments, but about standing by each other through the tough ones as well. Building your relationship on the foundation of God's love also involves establishing trust and faith. Trust is essential for any relationship, and it is only when we trust in God's love and sovereignty that we can have the courage to trust others. Trust in a relationship is built on consistent actions and a commitment to honor and respect one another. However, trust also comes from knowing that God is always in control and that no matter what happens in your relationship, He is guiding you. When you place your trust in God's love, you are not dependent solely on human abilities or circumstances, but you rely on a higher power who sees the big picture and has a plan for you. Furthermore, building on the foundation of God's love means making Him the center of your relationship. Just as God is the ultimate source of love, He also offers the wisdom and direction we need in all aspects of life, including our relationships. In times of uncertainty, prayer and seeking God's guidance can bring peace and clarity. When you involve God in your relationship, whether through prayer together, reading Scripture, or seeking counsel from other believers, you invite His wisdom and presence into your union. This creates a bond that is not only based on love, but also on a shared commitment to walk together in faith. God's love also teaches us the importance of humility and selflessness. Often conflicts arise in relationships when each person is focused on their own needs, desires, and preferences. But in a relationship grounded in God's love, we learn to put the other person's needs above our own. Philippians 2:4 reminds us, do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. Let each of you look not only to his own interest, but also to the interests of others. This doesn't mean neglecting your own needs, but rather recognizing that true love is selfless. It's about making the effort to understand your partner's perspective, to serve each other, and to prioritize the other's well-being. God's love is also a love that heals. Many relationships carry wounds from the past, wounds of rejection, hurt, and disappointment. These wounds can sometimes manifest as fear, insecurity, or distrust. But when you build your relationship on God's love, you open yourself up to healing. God's love is powerful enough to heal even the deepest wounds, to restore brokenness, and to make things new. It's important to allow His love to flow into your relationship, healing the areas that need it, and allowing both individuals to grow in grace and understanding. In relationships, there will inevitably be times of hardship and struggle. No relationship is without its challenges, but when you build on God's love, you are reminded that He is faithful to help you through. Psalm 34:18 says, "The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit." In moments of pain or hardship, God's love offers comfort and peace. Knowing that He is with you and that you are not alone can give you the strength to persevere and work through difficulties together. His love binds you together, making you resilient in the face of trials. When you build your relationship on the foundation of God's love, it also helps you grow individually. In any relationship, it's important for both individuals to continue growing and developing. God's love shapes us, molds us, and refines us. As you continue to grow in His love, you become more loving, compassionate, and patient. You learn to forgive, to trust, and to serve. And when both people in the relationship are growing in God's love, the relationship itself flourishes. You are not simply relying on your own strength, but on God's strength to love one another. One of the most beautiful things about building a relationship on God's love is that it is not limited by human understanding or ability. In 1 John 4:18, it says, "There is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear." God's love is perfect, and it has the power to cast out fear and insecurity. It provides a foundation that is solid and unshakable, even in the most uncertain times. When you place your relationship in His hands, you can trust that He will guide you, protect you, and sustain you through every season of life. In the end, building your relationship on God's love means living out His love every day through actions, words, and attitudes. It means showing grace when it's hard, forgiving when it's needed, and loving without expecting anything in return. It means making God the center of your relationship and trusting that His love will lead you both to a deeper, more meaningful connection. With God's love as your foundation, your relationship can stand strong, thrive, and grow, no matter what life brings. Expect a bold, confident declaration of love, because love is not meant to be hidden in the shadows or kept in the quiet corners of your heart. Love is meant to be celebrated, spoken loudly, and shared boldly with the world. There is power in declaring your love openly and confidently, both for the person you care about and for yourself. A bold declaration of love is not just a simple confession of feelings, but an act of courage, vulnerability, and conviction. When someone makes a bold declaration of love, it's more than just words. It's a commitment to stand in truth, to be fully present, and to acknowledge the depth of your feelings. It's an affirmation that love isn't a fleeting emotion or a passing thought, but a deep-rooted truth that is powerful enough to change everything. It's the moment when you realize that love isn't meant to be passive or waiting on the sidelines, but instead love demands action, confidence, and a willingness to fully embrace it. Imagine a situation where you've been quietly in love with someone, and over time, those feelings have grown into something undeniable, something that you can no longer keep to yourself. You're standing at the crossroads of fear and faith. Fear that your feelings might not be returned, and faith that love is worth the risk. It's in that moment when you've wrestled with self-doubt and hesitations that you find the courage to speak up and make that bold declaration. You look that person in the eyes, take a deep breath, and you speak from your heart, saying with confidence, "I love you. I don't just care about you, I am in love with you, and I want to build a future with you." A bold declaration of love isn't about having everything figured out or knowing exactly what the future holds. It's about the willingness to step into the unknown and to trust that love will guide the way. It's the confidence to say, "This is how I feel, and I'm not afraid to share it with you, regardless of the outcome." When you declare love in such a bold way, you're allowing the other person to see the truth of your heart, unguarded and unafraid. This act of openness has the power to deepen your connection, build trust, and invite the other person to respond in kind. But bold declarations of love aren't just for romantic relationships. We often think of love declarations in terms of confession between two people. But love is also meant to be boldly declared in our relationships with family, friends, and even ourselves. How often do we hesitate to tell our parents how much they mean to us, or to express our gratitude for our closest friend? A bold, confident declaration of love isn't just about romantic gestures. It's about speaking into the relationships that matter most, reminding the people in your life that they are loved, valued, and cherished. It's the phone call you make to a friend just to say, "I love you and I appreciate you more than you know." It's the letter you write to a parent telling them how much their support has meant to you over the years. In relationships, a bold declaration of love can create an environment where both people feel safe, seen, and accepted. When you love someone, your love is not just about the feelings you carry for them, but about the way you express those feelings. Love without action can sometimes feel empty or unspoken. But when you take the step to declare it boldly, to show love not just through actions, but with words that are honest and powerful, you allow love to come alive in ways that are transformative. One of the most beautiful aspects of a bold declaration of love is the freedom it brings. When you express love openly, you let go of the burden of holding it in. You release any fears, insecurities, or doubts that might have kept you from fully embracing what love could be. You stop hiding behind barriers of hesitation and start walking in the fullness of what it means to love and to be loved. And when the other person hears those words spoken with confidence, it gives them permission to do the same, to speak their truth, to express their own feelings, and to join you in the dance of love. Love that is bold and confident is also rooted in authenticity. It's not about grand gestures or dramatic proclamations for the sake of impressing someone. It's about saying what is true for you without pretension or fear of judgment. A bold declaration of love comes from a place of real emotion, honesty, and authenticity. It's the willingness to let your guard down, to share your heart with another person, and to invite them into the deepest part of your soul. It's a celebration of who you are, who they are, and the bond that has been created between you. Being bold in love doesn't mean forcing someone to feel the same way or demanding a response. It means expressing your heart in a way that is pure and sincere without attachment to the outcome. It's trusting that love is a journey and that by being honest and true to yourself, you are doing your part in creating a space for love to grow. A bold declaration of love is an invitation for vulnerability, connection, and intimacy, regardless of where the other person stands. It's saying, this is how I feel, and I'm okay with whatever happens next because I know I was true to my heart. Sometimes the boldest declarations of love come in moments that are quiet and simple. It might be a gesture of kindness, an unexpected act of service, or a spontaneous expression of affection. These small but meaningful acts are also powerful declarations of love. Whether you're declaring love through words, actions, or simply being present for someone, the confidence to do so boldly speaks volumes about the strength of your feelings. There's a quote that says, "You can't help who you love," and it's true. Love has a way of coming into our lives when we least expect it, often in the most surprising and beautiful ways. When love arrives, it demands to be recognized, acknowledged, and shared. Expect that bold, confident declaration of love to be the spark that ignites something deeper and more meaningful. Whether you're the one declaring it or waiting for it to be spoken to you, know that love is not meant to be hidden or held back. It is meant to be celebrated, shared, and boldly declared. In the end, love is an action. It's not enough to feel it deep within your heart. You must be willing to share it with the world. So expect a bold, confident declaration of love to come your way, not just once, but repeatedly, because love is something that should never be kept in silence. It's something that should be shouted from the rooftops, whispered in the quiet moments, and declared with all the passion and courage you can muster. When you expect and embrace love in this way, you create an environment where love flourishes, grows, and becomes the foundation of everything you do. This confession marks the beginning of something beautiful, not just in the context of a relationship, but in the very essence of life itself. Confession, when it comes from the heart and is rooted in love, is like planting a seed in the soil of your connection with another person. At first, it may seem small, just words spoken with honesty and vulnerability, but over time it grows, blossoms, and flourishes into something that transforms both individuals involved. The beauty of a confession is that it is a moment of profound truth, an unveiling of what has been hidden or held within for so long. It takes courage to open up, to reveal the depths of your heart, to expose those raw, genuine feelings that have been building inside you. And yet, in that vulnerability lies an incredible strength. When you make such a confession, you are no longer carrying that secret alone. You are inviting the other person into your world in a way that binds you together in trust and understanding. This confession marks the beginning of something beautiful because it represents a new chapter in a relationship, whether that's romantic, familial, or even within friendship. It's the moment when two people decide to be real with each other, to drop any masks they've been wearing and to embrace each other's flaws and strengths with honesty. Imagine the relief, the joy, and the anticipation that come with this moment. The walls that were once keeping you distant are now starting to come down, and you can begin to truly connect on a deeper, more meaningful level. When someone confesses their love, their appreciation, or their feelings, it opens the door to deeper intimacy. It invites both people to explore their emotions more freely, knowing that they are safe in the vulnerability of this shared moment. It's the beginning of a journey where the unknown is no longer something to be feared, but something to be embraced. The confession isn't just about what is said. It's about the unspoken promise that this moment marks the beginning of a new, enriched connection. A confession isn't always easy, especially when it involves the risk of not having those feelings reciprocated. But when you choose to speak from the heart, you create a foundation of trust that goes beyond mere words. You show that you are willing to risk vulnerability for the sake of something greater, the possibility of shared happiness, growth, and love. Whether or not the feelings are returned immediately, that moment of openness lays the groundwork for something even more profound. The mutual understanding that love, at its core, is about giving without expectation, about offering your truth without fear. This confession also signifies the start of a partnership, a collaboration between two people who have decided to build something together. The beauty lies in the fact that both individuals now have the opportunity to create a future in which they both thrive. Relationships that are built on mutual respect, love, and understanding grow stronger when both parties are invested in nurturing and cultivating the bond between them. A confession is like the first brick laid in the foundation of a house that will eventually become a home, secure, comfortable, and filled with warmth. The beginning of something beautiful is not always about grand gestures or dramatic declarations. It can be found in the simple honesty of speaking the truth. A confession, no matter how small or simple, carries the potential for transformation. It's a catalyst for change, for growth, and for the expansion of your relationship. When you speak your truth, you open the door for the other person to do the same. This mutual exchange of vulnerability leads to a deeper understanding of each other, fostering an environment where both people can feel safe to be their true selves. A confession also marks the beginning of a journey toward mutual growth. In any relationship, we are constantly evolving. We change, we learn, we grow. And the beauty of a confession is that it invites both people to grow together. Love in its truest form is about growth, not just as individuals, but as a unit. By making a heartfelt confession, you show that you are not afraid to face the unknown, to walk down this new path, and to embrace the journey ahead with the other person. Sometimes the beginning of something beautiful isn't immediately obvious. In the midst of a confession, there might be moments of hesitation, doubt, or even discomfort. But those moments are part of the process of building something meaningful. Just like a seed needs time, water, and care to grow into a strong tree, love, too, requires patience, understanding, and effort. What starts with a simple confession can blossom into a relationship that is resilient, deep, and rooted in the foundation of trust, faith, and shared experiences. Moreover, the beauty of this moment lies in its authenticity. When a confession comes from the heart, it is genuine, unfiltered, and real. It marks a moment where both people can step away from pretense and embrace the vulnerability of truly knowing one another. In that rawness is where the real beauty of love resides. It is not in the perfect moments, the flawless exchanges, or the idealized versions of ourselves, but in the honesty and openness with which we meet each other. This confession is just the beginning, but it marks the start of something beautiful that can grow and evolve into a deep, fulfilling connection. The real beauty lies not just in the declaration itself, but in the journey that follows. Love, when nurtured and cared for, becomes a living, breathing entity that transforms your life in ways you could never imagine. What starts with a simple confession can lead to a life filled with joy, understanding, and mutual support. Every relationship has its beginnings, and this one, marked by a heartfelt confession, is one that can create something extraordinary. It's the start of a shared journey, a promise to walk together through life's challenges and celebrations, and an invitation to experience love in its truest, most authentic form. Expect this confession to be the spark that ignites something beautiful, a love that grows stronger with each passing day and becomes a source of light and warmth in both your lives. The beauty of it lies not in perfection, but in the willingness to be open, to take the leap, and to trust that something incredible is unfolding right before your eyes.